The microphone's not on. Could you please put the microphone?
Monsieur le conseiller scientifique pour la science ouverte du ministère de l'enseignement supérieur.
Mr. Assistant Director General, Mr. Scientific Advisor for Open Science of the Ministry of Higher Education, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. I'm very pleased to introduce today's program, which celebrates 5 years of the Software Heritage Project. The development of this project started in 2016, led by Inria, under the auspices of Roberto Di Cosmo and Stefano Zacchiroli. And it was made public in 2016. In 2017, an agreement was signed between UNESCO and Inria to establish a collaborative framework centered on software heritage. It was dedicated to the preservation of source codes. As we have just heard, we have signed yesterday the renewal of this agreement, and it is a huge source of pride for Inria to see that this project, which has achieved a certain maturity, has now got to the age of 5. It seemed a bit crazy 5 years ago. I would like to thank Roberto Di Cosimo for his amazing energy and contribution. These sort of crazy projects, which are actually pioneers, have existed over a long period of time, and Inria has supported them over these years. Just to give you an example, there's the European branch of the W3C Consortium for open standardization of web technology in the 1990s. Inria is the National Institute for Computer Science and Applied Mathematics, and it has a very strong software culture. We can say that it's a research institute where the production of software is covered or consumed to be a fully integrated approach to research and innovation. So beyond the dimension of preservation, which is of course important to UNESCO and which is vital to all of us, there are 3 other aspects that I'd like to draw your attention to, and they're all very important for Inria. First of all, it's a platform which is at the service of open science. Secondly, it is a software tool at the service of software. And thirdly, it is an object of study. Open archives for publications have been recognized for more than 20 years as an essential tool of what is called open science today. Sharing research data is also a major pillar in this entire process. However, it's now clear that an article describing the method and a data set are frequently insufficient and cannot be reproduced if they are not accompanied by the software that made it possible to obtain the results. Therefore, open science has 3 pillars: publications, data, and software. And these 3 pillars have been fully recognized in the National Plan for Open Science of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation in France, and also at a European level in the EOSC project, European Open Science Cloud, for which Jean-François Abrametek, an emeritus researcher at Inria, has played a key role, and I'd like to acknowledge him here. The second dimension is software heritage. It's also a software project at the service of software. The source code of a software, contrary to what one might think at first, is not merely a text. It's not a data set either. The way of describing its evolutionary history, its development, its citation logic varies a great deal. It's deeply different. And if we integrate all of this in a subtle way, software heritage gives you a fantastic tool for software engineering. And finally, the third aspect of things, and this is particularly important for Inria, is that software heritage has within itself real scientific challenges. For example, if you had to identify all the source codes in the world, would be extremely difficult. There's no standard protocol on the various platforms such as GitHub, GitLab, GForge, etc. So that in itself is an extremely difficult operation, more than referencing the web itself, which has a much clearer protocol. Second example is the size of the archive, which is off the charts. It's got a graph of 20 billion nodes and 200 billion edges. So making efficient queries on such a tree is a real challenge from a science point of view. So you can see software heritage is multifaceted. It's a platform for preserving the world's heritage. It's a platform for open science. It's a software tool for software engineering, or in itself is an inherent object of study. It offers so many opportunities and so many users that it will attract. And this is what I believe completely, but it's also what I wish wholeheartedly, that larger and more diverse communities will be drawn to it, and they will be both academic and industrial. And of course, software heritage can continue, dear Roberto, to count on Inria as being one of its loyal supporters. Thank you very much.